Welcome back, everyone. Toys here, and back yet again with yet another DC Multiverse video. And today, we have an early advanced look at two of their upcoming Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, Arkham City video game offerings. The first one being a skin of Earth-2 Batman for Arkham Knight. This was basically just an extra little add-on. However, they do utilize comic book art on the box. Whereas, yes, this is based off of the Arkham game skin, not the comic book. The only real difference being the belt, although this version of Earth-2 Thomas Wayne has had this belt as well. Very confusing, those DC comics these days. Here's the barcode for when he starts to hit store shelves. And then the one that I was really looking forward to, I don't always like the video game designs for those Arkham games, right? It's always like hit or miss for me. Although I really did like the Riddler. I really did like going around Arkham City and finding all the Riddler trophies. That was cool. Would have been a nice pack-in. Just saying, here's the barcode for the Riddler as well. But yeah, that was just very memorable. That was the takeaway that I remember wholeheartedly from the game. And then recently, I said in one of my videos, I said, oh, it was like 50 to 100. And everyone was like, no. So I Googled it, and there are 282 Riddler trophies throughout Arkham City, 247 for Batman, 35 for Catwoman, and I got every single one. And yeah, I got to face off against the Riddler when I did so. But this is going to be an absolute blast. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is an early advanced look at the brand new Riddler and Earth-2 Batman from the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line. And riddle me this, all you DC Multiverse fanatics. Thank you so much for always checking out my DC Multiverse vids. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. Old toys, new toys, daily news updates. Guarantee you'll find something here that you like. So, you get everything out of the packaging. You got two figures. You got two accessories. Of course, you got the flat black stands and the trading cards that, for being completely honest, don't really add anything to the lore of what you're trying to figure out about these characters. But Earth-2 Batman comes with the Arkham Batarang. It looks cool. It's flat black. Does the trick. The actual figure, I'm going to be completely honest, even when I did a news video on this guy, this is not one that was on my radar, one that I was going to pick up. I appreciate McFarlane Toys sending this over for purposes of showing this off early. However, we'll look at this objectively, and I have to say that he is just okay, right? I think it's largely a new figure, so that's actually pretty good, right? It's got peg holes on the bottom. He's got a really nice sculpt to him, but I think proportionally, he's a little bit out of whack. There are things that I really like and things that I'm like, yeah, like the head, for instance. In certain angles, I'm like, okay, that's, and then you turn it, and you go, oh, wait, no, it's a little bit too small. And then some of the paint is a little bit off on this guy, right? Especially on the side of the cowl right there, it kind of splotches onto the flesh parts. He's got double jointed elbows. He's got wrists. So he does have the updated articulation, which is nice. Unfortunately, though, he's unusually loose in the abdomen, right? Which the red, again, is very sloppy, especially on the inside of the cape. If you kind of see, it's very blotchy, like it didn't smooth out all the way. For the silhouette that this figure creates, it's cool. He's got a nice, big, huge Batman cape. He's got cool elements, but again, he really does nothing for me. Some of the articulation in the legs can be kind of limited. Again, he does have the updated articulation, so he doesn't have the ball joints, but I noticed that in some areas, you kind of have to go slow. They're a little bit difficult to move around, so you might consider heating this guy up as well. Overall, I'm going to tell you, it's largely a pass for me. If you're a huge fan of Earth-2 Batman or the Arkham games, sure, probably would be right up your alley. But for me, yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, clearance. But the Riddler is very cool, and I love the Riddler cane right here. I think that this is an excellent accessory for him to have. He's got some green on it. It's very much a used cane. There's little nicks and dents all over it. Got a little warped in the packaging. It's not a huge deal breaker, but might have to heat it up and kind of fix it a bit. And the Riddler himself is very cool, except for the fact he's got the side eye. I thought we were done with this. Maybe it's just a leftover, but I really like the way that he looks because he's not only just Arkham, but he can be a comic, like a modern day Riddler, right? In every change possible. He's got the big combat boots. I really like the back of the figure too. He's got the big question mark. Everything is sculpted in. Everything's painted nicely. That's very cool. I love to see the detail like that. I don't mind the glasses. It's got the bowler hat. The eyes looking off to the side give him a little bit of a snarky personality, which he did have in the game, which that's the Riddler, always vying for Batman's attention, right? Anybody's attention. So it works. I don't mind the side eye. I really don't like it. Please don't more of that. The legs, the arms, he's got some good movement in the abdomen. He will spin at the waist as well, which is nice to see. And again, nice paints. But right here in the pants, I would say that's where it gets a little bit muddled, right? Especially in the crotch piece. His legs will move around and everything else, but it just doesn't look right. It just looks like two separate pieces where it should have been flush a little bit better. He's got double jointed knees. He's got some nice boots. He's got toe. For as much as you need to really have a lot of articulation in the Riddler, yes, he does meet that in spades. But Riddler is just basically a guy that stands there and occasionally will swing a cane, but he's the guy at the computer. I don't really care for how the gloves really come up to the skin, right? It just kind of looks like the skin is going over the gloves. I wish they had that little element to the gloves to kind of fold over his wrists. He does hold the Riddler cane rather nicely. He's got two item holding hands, which is always nice to see. But yeah, this is a very sleek, very cool looking Riddler. Despite some of the nitpicks, I think he'll look good for your comic book line as well. And to just kind of see the scalature of Earth-2 Batman, he's a medium-sized Batman, we'll just say. He is a little bit shorter than the new Blue Hush Batman, so he's kind of like that in-between, although again, proportion-wise, the head-wise, yeah, he's just largely a pass. But what I'm really starting to see take shape is our Batman Rogues Gallery. And I really do feel like in the totality of the multiversal idea, a lot of these figures do mesh together. Even Arkham video game ones, even Talon, right? To consider him in the Batman Rogues Gallery. But I like the way the Riddler scales. He's a little bit shorter, and I think that that fits for the real Weasley nature of that character. But, I mean, everybody loves the Riddler, right? And if you wanted to see some Arkham Asylum, City, Night comparisons, here's some of the most recent ones with these two new Arkham video games. Although I'm going to say over and over, you can largely use these for comic books. Thomas Wayne goes up against Batman at some point in one of the comics, teams up with Bane. And then you got the Joker Titan to boot, right? So that will wrap it up for my look at two of the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse offerings, Earth-2 Batman and the Riddler. And of course, thank you again to McFarlane Toys for sending these out early for the purposes of this video. I really do think that the Riddler fits. I liked him with my comic book characters. I like a more classic Riddler, but he's pretty cool. I definitely like him. Earth-2 Batman, you've heard my thoughts thus far. Yes, he could just be Thomas Wayne. Yeah, he could team up with Bane and have be a bad guy or not a bad guy. Whatever the deal with Thomas Wayne is, just keep it in Flashpoint at this point. It's all too confusing. DC Comics, you got to make this easier on us, for crying out loud. But you've heard my thoughts. Now I'm curious to know yours. Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything DC Multiverse. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, yeah, keep bringing on those Batman Rogues Gallery. I wouldn't mind a Mad Hatter, right? Something along those lines. And when they do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.